Hi, everyone. I'm Natasha Kennedy, and I'm the director and founder of BLC Spain.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hector Martín. I'm the academic dean at BLC Spain. We're here to talk about one of our passions these days, AI.
Most
Um,
definitely, it's a passion for us both, I think.
yes. What a breakthrough.
An amazing breakthrough. And I think the reason we've chosen to talk about this topic on video for our prospective students is that it's just launched onto the stage. It's so big and so dramatic AI. Despite the fact that it actually has been around us for years and years, it hasn't been accessible to us, to the normal people, to education, to people sitting at home. And it's still in its infancy. It's still in its absolute baby stages. And this is an incredibly exciting time that we're on the cusp of this new, amazing tool for life, for the world, for business, for education, for everything. And I think that's a really exciting time.
Indeed. Like every time I think about this, there's not enough threads for me to pull from. It's whether I think about its impact on creativity, on problem solving, on decision making, all of the ethical and social implications of the things that we can do, the things that it can do for us, who's going to be affected, in what way. It's mind blowing. I love thinking about it, and at the same time, I get lost in my thought every time I explore it. I don't have enough bandwidth in my brain to think about it.
Absolutely. And I think that's the challenge, isn't it? And I think that's part of what we're learning and what we need to teach is how do you manage something that's just so big? Both myself and Hector have been to so many lectures and webinars, and we could do it 24/7 basically. There's so much out there at the moment, and we're both so interested in it. And one I went to about 6 months ago, and it was a lot of the ones I've been to are sales or marketing in education, or the difficulties for the educational sector, all sorts of ones like that. But this was a very theory debate. It was from people who looked like they'd not left their classrooms for at least the last 25 years. And it was professors who, worked at Harvard and lecture at Princeton, etc. Some business, some really interesting business people and thought leaders, theologists, philosophists. It was very interesting. And one of the people speaking said, if we were to grade how important AI is to the world, then electricity is 100, because electricity changed everything about our world. It changed everything that we can do, everything that we touch, see, taste, everything. Electricity just had a profound impact on humanity. And he graded the internet, the birth of the World Wide Web, as 50. So we've got electricity at 100 and we've got internet at 50. And he graded AI at 99. That is going to be the impact on the world, on humanity, on every area of our lives going forward. And the only reason he gave it 99 and not 100 was because it needs electricity to actually work.
Yeah.
I think that is at the moment that I took a breath and was like AI. Oh, this is incredible. This is a thing. It really is. For us, we would be, and I know a lot of institutions around the world, quite big academic institutions, universities are banning AI. And so we'll talk about the kind of educational aspect of that, and but just in terms of preparing students for leaving and going into business, what are your thoughts on that, Hector?
Every industry is going to take AI for their benefit. And this is happening right now. And everyone and every business, every organization, every freelance, every single person out there is trying to figure out the best way to use AI to their benefit and hopefully to the benefit of their community as well. And we need to make sure that our students are aware of this, first of all, aware that everyone is rowing in this direction or fighting the same fight, if I may. First of all, that awareness. Second of all, then what to do with it from the first moment as students themselves, and how to use it in their own student life, which we'll talk about later. But also once they're working, whether it is with their own businesses or as a part of an organization, they need to make sure that they can use this tool, that they can assess what this tool gives them, and that they can connect what they're able to do with this tool with the rest of the reality of their job, their organization, their community, and the rest of the world. And it's an impact. Just I was surprised about the grade of 50 that this person gave for the internet, because it seems too low to me, because the internet has allowed people from all over the world to do business with each other. It has allowed for business to just be digital, and you don't need necessarily anything tangible, or the only thing that you need tangible is the technology to access
Electricity.
the digital world and electricity. Exactly. But the students need to know how AI impacts things like the competitive advantage of a company, how that's going to affect their market reach, their business model. Are you going to use AI or not? How do your revenue streams change with it? How does your relationship with your clients change with it? How does your ability to process data and to analyze that data and to make decisions from that data change with AI? How is even the workforce going to change with AI? How many people you're going to need to work in your company? What kind of people you're going to need to work in your company? It's one of these exponential evolutions that our students are going to live in
Absolutely.
right now.
And this conversation is going to date so quickly, because AI, we're talking about AI like this, like the second coming, whereas it's in infancy, and it is going to, just because AI is going to help AI grow. But I think people have a fear at the moment that it's going to take everyone's jobs. And throughout history, if we look at the evolution of technology or changes in behavior. So for example, one of the great examples is the horse and cart industry. The horse and cart industry was like huge. There was, in New York, for example, it was like such a huge amount of the GDP of New York, because everyone needed horse and carts. Everyone needed it to transport something. And then the car came along. With the car came the lorry, came wagons, etc., etc. And it completely decimated that industry, where people just retrained. There wasn't an unemployment dip. There wasn't thousands and thousands of people in this massive industry who were suddenly unemployed. The same with the internet. The internet changed jobs, but it didn't mean that millions of people were out of work. And the same is going to be true for AI. What you've just talked about there is exactly this, that we're not sure yet what these jobs are, because probably these jobs don't exist yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to be, and our students need to be preparing for. So as these new jobs are created, and these new human AI kind of roles expand, and I really feel that's what AI is for me. It's the interaction between human and AI, and that's what makes magic. So just AI on its own has, obviously, but it needs the input, and how AI has learned. The language models for ChatGPT or for Claude, all of those have come from the human world, the human voice, the human text. That's how it's learned, and that's how it will continue to learn. So I think for business, we would be remiss if we didn't massively have a leaning towards AI in all our business courses, because that's the reality of the world that all our grads enter. That's what we need to be talking about, and that's what we are talking about, which is really exciting. So I think the last area we need to really cover is the educational side of AI. And the educational side of AI is, and this is what I am frustrated about, these universities that are banning it so that students can't write essays. The problem is that knowledge used to be held by a few. So universities and professors and people of academic learning were the keepers of knowledge, and you as students, us as students, paid to access that knowledge.
Mhm.
Now knowledge is no longer an elite in ownership held by a few. It's out there for everyone. So you can use ChatGPT to be a tutor for yourself, for your children. So having a tutor is no longer just accessible to those with money. So it's leveling a playing field in education, I think. And there's no point us ignoring it. There's no point us making you do work in a way that no longer is necessary in the world we live in. What we need to help you do as students is to learn to use and adapt. So if knowledge is no longer what we're providing in the same way, what are we providing? And what I think we're providing, and Hector will speak more to this, is that we're teaching you how. We're teaching you how to use AI. We're teaching you how to use information. We're teaching you to be able to adapt, to be able to look at information and decide if it's correct, incorrect, what you feel about it, what your opinions are, how you use it, how you evaluate it. And those are very different skills than that certainly I needed. When I studied my law degree, they went, learn these laws. And I went, oh, okay. And then they went, here's some information. And does this law apply? And we had to apply the law. But in terms of, they were the knowledge keepers of law. And I think that's it. And I think that's what's very different. What's your take on it, Hector?
It's it's going back to the very, 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 very basics of education. And education is helping someone learn. It's not about the transmission of the knowledge. It's about the acquisition of the knowledge, or the acquisition of the skill, or whatever it is that this person is interested in learning, or students in this case would be interested in learning. It's making sure that we put the focus on them. What is it that you want to learn? What is it that you need to achieve? What is it that you're going to be doing in the future with this knowledge? And more than ever, becoming a guide for that learning process.
Absolutely.
It's no longer about, I know more than you, so I give you this knowledge that I have and that I treasure. It's about, I shall walk this path. This is what I've learned about this path. This is what I'm learning in my current position in this path. If this is the path that you want to walk along, I can help you navigate it. Or perhaps I can help you navigate your own path. But the knowledge is out there and not even with AI, but already 2 years ago with YouTube and all of the different sources of knowledge that are out there. Um, Learners don't necessarily need knowledge to be transmitted to them. They just need to be guided through the knowledge. And this is what we're very excited to do here at BLC. And this is why we're not turning our backs to AI. Quite the opposite. Is, hey, this is a tool that is changing the way people learn. It's changing the way people work, and we need to fully embrace it, and our students need to fully embrace it.
Absolutely. I think it's an incredibly exciting time. And myself, Hector, and the whole faculty we keep up to date. We're attending those lectures. We're constantly discussing it in between ourselves to make sure that our course is aligned with the highest rigorous academic standards, but is modern and flexible and versatile, and will teach you what you need as you go out there into the workplace. And I don't think there's been a more exciting time to be, apart from maybe if I saw the invention of electricity. But I don't think there's been a more exciting time to see how the world and humanity is going to grow. And with everything, there's good and bad, there's light and dark. Part of our jobs is to talk about the ethics, to talk about the morality, to talk about how you use information and all of those things. And I think there are lots of controversial issues about AI, and we're not shying away from that. That's something we talk about and tackle every day. And
Mhm.
we love having those conversations with our students, and they're conversations that we'll continue to have.
Yeah. And it's just like any other tool that humanity has seen. All of them comes with ethical problems, just like the ethics of using the internet for the good or for the bad, or the ethics of guns or any other thing that particularly brings these issues, this fight between good and evil up to it's AI is right there with all of them. And because of its power, those conversations are even so more important.
Absolutely, they are. I think it's an exciting time, and we'll be keeping you updated on all things AI as we continue on our journeys and we continue to feedback and learn from our students as well. And I think that's an exciting time. There's not a day that goes by that one of our students doesn't come in and show us a new amazing AI tool that they found. And then me and Hector get lost down a rabbit hole of watching new AI genius things happening. So it's an exciting time. And we'll be back to talk about more elements of our course over the coming months. Thank you much for watching.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.